But you ask yourself, at the end of the month, how much are you going to sell this rabbit, spending all of this on the rabbits? And some of them who had malocclusion, that's wrong direction of the teeth. It overgrows that they can't feed, and so the weight shrinks. So for them to gain weight. And they have to trim these teeth at 400 cedis. That is 2020, 400 cedis per trim. And so I was like, me and my dad were this thing.
You may even think of stopping.
Yes, it was putting us off.
Alright, so now I figured out how I'm going to start. I figured out the do's and don'ts. Maintenance. I mean, if I start and I'm not doing proper maintenance, I'm going to lose all my stock. That would be terrible. An expensive mistake, like you put it. Now, 5 years from 2019 down the line, I mean, tell me, how has it been? Has it been an easy ride? What has been some of the setbacks you faced?
Well, it hasn't been an easy ride at all for me, because at the time I had no mentor. Although we took time to tour some few farms, nobody was ready at the time to give you this sort of training. And so, like I said earlier, a newbie, somebody who just completed uni, I just have to challenge myself to learn a bit and read myself. And so the challenges, like I said, we also started small. We started with just 3 rabbits. 3? Just 3, yeah.
How many females?
2 females and a male. And so 3. So our first litter was in 2020, February 11th. We had 9 bunnies. From a Palomino mother mated with a New Zealand male. We still have that New Zealand male on a farm. We named him Grandpa.
Grandpa, indeed. It's almost 5
Grandpa,
years now.
So after the first litter, I started experiencing problems. So like all of the diseases I mentioned as part of the maintenance, that you should look at all of these things. Know the lineages to mate, what not to mate.
You experienced all those problems?
Yes, because the farm I went to, there was nothing like that to tell me that, oh, okay, this female is coming from this lineage and this lineage. So there was nothing to, they didn't show me anything for me to know that I'm taking away different lineages and I'm not going to experience any problem. And so when I came, after the first litter, there were a lot of, some had malocclusion, a lot of all of these things I mentioned, a lot. And so a newbie too, without having no knowledge about how to resolve these problems, I have to resort to a veterinary officer. So we started taking them to veterinary. Imagine carrying 9 rabbits, all of them. All of them had problems. And then as a newbie, having your first litter, you don't want to lose them because these are your first babies on the farm. You want to do everything to save them. So we're taking them to veterinary. Imagine carrying all 9 rabbits in Uber. You can't stress them in trotro, they'll die. So you have to give them that comfort. These are all manual. See the challenges. Take all of them in Uber to the veterinary. And one shot of a medicine was, I think at the time, 5 cedis, and they have to take one. Each of them took 2 shots at a time. You can do the math. And all of these, I have to bring them in about just 5 days for another injection. But you ask yourself, at the end of the month, how much are you going to sell this rabbit, spending all of this on the rabbits? And some of them who had malocclusion, that's wrong direction of the teeth. It overgrows that they can't feed, and so the weight shrinks. So for them to gain weight. And they have to trim these teeth at 400 cedis. That is 2020, 400 cedis per trim. And so I was like, me and my dad were this thing.
You may even think of stopping.
Yes, it was putting us off. Honestly.
You want to give up.
Exactly. What's this at all?
So what changed?
Then so like I said, after reading, we said, no, there might be something wrong over here, which is inbreeding. Let's resort to another female and try and see what the results will be. Then we sold out the ones we treated. It wasn't like it's a bad disease. It was just a wrong direction of the teeth. So after trimming, it was growing back again, but we had to trim again. Then we sold those ones out as meat, at least to get something small. So that was my first experience exchanging rabbit for money.
Oh.
And so we got some other females to try again to see what the results would, would be, and it came out
better.
Yeah, there was no issue of genetic illness like malnutrition and all of that. And from there, the experience
you built on that.
Came back. The motivation was different. And here
it's
we
good
are.
you didn't give up. If you had given up, I wouldn't be here talking to you and then hearing this experience. So that's good. So the major setback was these diseases and genetics that you didn't know anything about from the start. Now I'm sure now you are a guru. I mean, you've been telling me a lot of things now, so you've learned so much on it. What are some of the other challenges you faced? You mentioned that you were spending so much money on getting them treated. How did you get to balance that and then to become stable in terms of monetary?
Okay, so balance expenses? That. So again, I have to learn. I resorted to my computer. I downloaded a lot of articles. Sleepless nights. I have to read. And so when anytime I go to the veterinary, I look at the medicine that they administer to the rabbits.
Okay.
I watch it carefully, and then when I come, I try to research on it myself to see what it does. And so I went around town to research for this medicine myself, and I came across a shop at Carnation, Frankatsen, and I got some of these medicines. Then anytime I have such issues, not genetical issues, diseases that are treatable, I treat them myself. I read the manual, I get a syringe, I wear my gloves, I do it, and it works. And okay. Then I started doing it small, and so that's it. That's how I solved that aspect of the problem. And so I think another problem would be the issue of the emotional issue with the kids. Then in the feed. Okay, the feed is also another issue. Then the emotional attachment to is another issue. So I realized that at the point these rabbits, the environment in which they are born, they have an attachment in there with their mother and an environment in which they are born. Okay. So in our observation, we realized that at 3 weeks, they have still not detached their feeling from their environment and then their mother. And so when you wean them early at that difficult age, they go into their new environment, they become moody, and then they die. So it wasn't like they are sick. Some don't get sick, but just the mood, change of mood. Then the rabbits decides not to feed, and once they don't feed, inflammation sets in their stomach and they do die. So we had to change our routine of weaning and all of that. And so we corrected that. And then here we are. And then I think the feed too, at the point in our research, we observed that the feed wasn't good, wasn't super. The feed that we had in the system was not good. Then we're using the chicken feed. That's the corn, the layer mash and the wheat brown, mixed with a few premix and soya bean and all of that. But at the point we realized that the feed too was killing the rabbits. It was not good because the starch content in there was too much. Like I said, growing up, they produce this gastrointestinal bacteria that is natural, just as the white blood cells we produce, And these bacteria are natural, and so they are enemies to this corn that they eat in. And so it affects them. And then so these were some of the challenges. We're losing these rabbits at a very young stage. Your inputs, like I said, you do your inputs, you expect something, then
it's all gone. Problem
hits you. And so by and by we're able to, we saw like observation again, we realized that something was missing in the hay. At least the feed is not good, but we can supplement with hay, reduce the feed, the starch content, and do a lot of it. Even though the weight will not come quickly as we want, but it's better to save your stock
than to lose them.
So if you are to grow them in 3 months, that is the ready age for market, and then they get an extra amount on the farm before you sell them. It's better than you losing them. So that was how we're curbing this issue. Yeah, and so that's what we did, and here we are.
You've been, I mean, through it all, you've been resilient. That's good.
Yes.
These setbacks sound discouraging, but you've been at it till this point. I'm sure you've enjoyed some successes.
Of course.
Tell us about some of them.
Successes, yeah, success as in increments. Before, like I said, we started with just 3, and the 3, like I described, look at the setbacks over there. Lots of problems over there. Breed this, breed that. But then we had goals too.
Okay.
Goals that's, I mean, when you achieve them becomes a success.
Yeah.
And so we had goals at the time that quarter every year would increase our dough units by 8 units. That was a benchmark we set for ourselves. So I think this from the 3 rooms, this was the second one we built.
Okay.
The second cage, then the third cage. So it follows like that to the other end.
Okay. So from 3, about how many do you have now?
The dough units we have 56.
Interesting.
Breeding females.
Interesting.
But that, I mean, that is not the total rabbit on the farm. But I mean, just the breeding females, the rooms, we have 56. But before we started with 2. So yeah, so that is a success we've had. And then another success was that looking at the rabbits we had from the beginning, like I said, they were not commercial breeds. They were not growing very fast. And so we needed to improve their genetics. So another success was being able to bring down foreign breeds from SA. I was there myself. And to bring down like good genetical rabbits to improve their lineage, not just for us, but I mean to help every farmer in the system so that they can buy these breeds and improve theirs too.
Okay.
And so helping ourselves and others, I think that's another success for us.
That's good. I mean, you are affecting whatever it is you've been doing so far now. It's also having a positive impact on the rabbit value chain.
Yeah, value chain, yes. And then I think another success is it has exposed us to meeting the likes of Kujo, CK Farms.
Okay.
And then Star Farms, I think. Jonathan, the one who does the cages, I mean a lot of them, yes.
I can see they've really impacted your business positively. Of course,
because at the point Jonathan was the one who pointed out the wire mesh that we need to buy. Okay. He saved us from this trouble.
Okay, so
that's another success.
Okay, so you forgot to tell me that your cages were a problem to start with. It was one of the challenges too.
Yes, the cages. So like I said, I said that, in a previous video, I said the reason you should resort to farmers, go around and research and hear all the stories is that you don't commit expensive mistakes. So these are some of the expensive mistakes. Some of the materials are not friendly to the rabbits. Like the wooden cages we have, they are not. And then they're expensive as compared to
the mesh.
Yeah, the mesh, you only have to bend them and then clip them together. But this one you have to buy nails, hinges, a lot of money. A lot. You get, and the roof too, it's a lot. You get. The new one we are using is made of plastic, fiberglass, which is resistant to their urine is very acidic. It's very, very acidic, but the plastic can stand the urine. So we've been using the plastic for the ones over the 2 years and
no wahala.
No wahala, but for the roof, we have to change everything. So these are some of the challenges we had from the beginning, and meeting people, I think, is another success. They've exposed us, we've corrected ourselves through them and in our own research.
And on top of that, the sales.
The sales, well, yeah, it has increased, but I can give up my figures.
Not your figures, but at least in the beginning you were losing your stock. Now you are keeping a steady one, and then you are making good sales.
Like I think I mentioned earlier that in maintenance, right? Viewers are listening to me carefully. My maintenance is part of it. We keep record. Once you keep record, you know what your input in, what you have to. So it's one of the successes that.
That's true. So Ace Rabbit Farms. I mean, it's been good what we've learned today. Anyone wanting to start rabbit farming, this is very educative. If people want to contact you, how do they reach you?
I think the best is Google. We have our locations there, our numbers are there, our media platforms are there.
Okay.
Once you go on Google and type Ace Rabbit Farms, it gives you all the detail of our farm.
Okay.
Our numbers too are there, so you can just pick it up and call us.
Okay. Which media platform can we find you on?
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter.
Are you on YouTube?
And Facebook.
Okay.
And YouTube, yeah. Ace Rabbit Farm, same thing.
All over?
Yeah, Ace Rabbit
All right, so Ace Rabbit Farm. I mean, if someone wants to purchase for breeding, for cooking, all
anything.
available.
Rabbits can be used for all cooking purposes. It can be. I think one of your people asked me if I mentioned pizza and she was
laughing.
It looks weird to her. I said, we should change the narrative. It's one of the best protein meats, and so that is why we are producing this. So they should change the narrative, and everything can be used for everything. Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to find Ace Rabbit Farm, just Google it. You find their contact. If you want to come here, you find the location, and they are on all social media platforms. Correct?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. So we've talked about a lot of things. I mean, someone out there is looking at what's the next thing I can do. We encourage urban farming. They have some space. They don't know what to do. They want to start some business. What advice would you have for such people?
Thank you. Like I said earlier, I think that the best thing to do is to get a mentor. Like I said, you research, you start small, experience your knowledge and whatever your mentor has taught you. Then you can decide to scale up. But within a small space, you can do rabbits. If you have that desire to do farming, anything animal, and then space is your problem. Within a small space, you can do rabbits. Because a pair of rabbits, okay, when you do 4 cycles in a year, a pair of rabbits, when you do it properly, or 2 pair, the meat they produce is equal to the meat of a full-grown cow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you want to do it for your family, you can still have that, you can have meat for your family every month for them to consume, which is a proper meat, it's a lean meat.
Yeah, now people are focused on growing what they eat. So, I mean, you can also rear what you are eating in your backyard.
Exactly.
So, like you said, research, find a mentor. There are going to be setbacks anyway, but
that's why your mentors are there, and you resort to research.
Thank you so much for your time.
Let's do it because it's much appealing to humans, people with heart issues, blood pressure, diabetes, and even when you want to, gestation for humans, when you are protruding, the baby comes out strong and firm.
Interesting. So it has positive health benefits. Interesting.
So let's pursue it.
All right, we will do that.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My key takeaways in today's interview: always do your research. Background research, very, very, very key. Find a mentor and then start small. That way you'll be able to know whether this is for you or you should consider something else. I hope you found this video very educative. I did. And if you're new to this channel, please do turn on your notification and subscribe. Share this video with someone who would also learn more from it. See you in our next video.